Hi, I'm Sinead, and I'm talking to you today not to panic you, but just to talk about how we can pay better attention to our young people and stay connected, because it's a really tough world out there right now. And if you're a parent watching this, I want you to speak to you really from the heart, from a grieving mum who lost her child to suicide. Since then, I've had so many parents reach out to me with the same quiet fear that I once carried. That feeling that something's shifted in their child, that it's not always obvious, but there's just a sense that they're not quite themselves, that they're struggling. Maybe they're quieter, maybe they spend more time in their room, maybe, you know, they've lost interest in the usual activities they do. Maybe they're just long silences where before they used to be just open conversation. Christmas and New Year are supposed to be really happy times, warm, full of laughter and connection. But for many of our young people, that picture doesn't quite fit their reality. We buy them presents, we try and do our best for them, but what's happening inside them may be completely different to what we're actually seeing. That's why the work being done in Ollie Stevens' name matters so much. So in the face of unimaginable grief and loss, his mum and family have chosen to turn grief into purpose. And, they do it in a way that says this cannot keep happening without change. So their courage to speak openly and to push for accountability and to protect other children is extraordinary. With the support of people like Demi, who is one of Ollie's friends, who has bravely used her voice too, and professionals like Michael Railton from Ofcom, this work's helping shine a light on gaps that have stayed hidden for far too long. I want to share some UK research and data with you today, not to scare you, but help you look a little closer at this. And I want you to trust your instincts if something feels off. What the UK data is telling us is that suicide remains a really serious issue in the UK. The Office for National Statistics reports that in 2024, over 6,000 people died by suicide in England and Wales. And behind that figure is a family, schools or multiple schools, and a community that's changed forever. And each one of those affected by that suicide loss are at more risk of ending their lives. When we look at young people overall, the rates may be lower than in older age groups, but the risk is shaped by timing and pressures and environment. Transitions matter, particularly to those who are autistic. Silence matters, and what children are exposed to matters. A 2025 study by the Molly Rose Foundation found that harmful content related to suicide, self-harm and depression is still being pushed to children on social media. It's not that they're searching for it, it's that it's recommended. In their UK survey of 13 to 17-year-olds, more than a third saw a high-risk content in just 1 week. That's around 1.5 million children. And many of those children saw it repeatedly. And we're talking, these are platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and X. This is why advocacy like Ollie's work really matters. They are challenging systems that have allowed the harmful content, safeguarding failures, and accountability gaps to persist. They're asking difficult questions of platforms, schools, and regulators about how children are being protected or not protected in the real world and online. There's another important piece of research that many people don't know. It's not that suicide risk peaks on Christmas Day, but it often rises on New Year's Day and those quieter days. After the noise all stops and all these routines have fallen away, they can be really especially hard for someone who's already struggling. Put together the festive season, which can be a really heavy time for vulnerable young people. This time of year can feel so hard. It can feel hard for us, but imagine your child lying in bed late at night and they're just scrolling on their phone and those harmful videos are appearing. They don't need to go looking for them. They just show up. Then imagine they're going downstairs over Christmas into a house full of the festivities, the noise, the decorations. People are smiling. People are telling them they should be happy both online and in person. And online, everyone looks so perfect. Everyone looks like they've got their perfect family. Everyone's happy. Lots of laughter and togetherness, but inside, even if they've got that, what they're looking at, they may be feeling numb or invisible or empty, and that contrast really hurts. Feeling like you're the only one not coping can really deepen that sadness and loneliness. And add into that winter, shorter days, less sunlight, broken routines, any family tensions, any financial pressures, all of that piles up really quickly. That's why the period after Christmas, when everything suddenly goes still, it can be really risky. The drop from busy to silent, it leaves space for the thoughts that were barely being held back. The small signs we can miss. Looking back, it's easy now to see how those small changes can be just dismissed. The sleeping too much, or hardly at all. Losing interest in things that they loved. Withdrawing, living online more, or away, separating from you. Making comments that sound half joking but land quite heavily, like, no one would notice if I wasn't here. Because we love them, we just tell ourselves it's just a phase. And often teenagers are moody. Young adulthood is hard. We don't expect them to just go through life with the laughter. We know they're going to meet some adversities at times. But research and lived experience show that distress often hides quietly on their phones and in their bedrooms, their private spaces where the deep despair can grow, especially when harmful content reinforces those feelings. How do you start a conversation? Even if you're scared of it, if something in you feels worried about somebody, whether it's your child or a friend, trust it. You don't need perfect words. You don't need solutions. You just need to open the door. Open that conversation. I've noticed you seem quieter lately. How are you really doing? Or, I know this time of year can be hard. I just wanted to check in on you and see how you're really feeling. Do you have any worries at the minute? Let them talk. Let there be pauses. Just sit with it. Just sit with them and listen. Small things can help. Bring in gentle routines. Get them out in the daylight. Eat together. Less screen time. Quiet connection. Watch a film. And if they do open up and you feel out of your depth, reaching out for help can be really easy in the UK. In many other countries too. You can contact your GP. There are urgent NHS services, but also there's like Papyrus, Samaritans, Ollie's Foundation. I'll put some links in the description. And if you are struggling, whether you're young or older, I want you to hear me. I want you to know that you matter. Your pain matters. Feeling lonely or overwhelmed during the holidays doesn't mean that you're weak or that you're broken. It means that you're human and you're going through a difficult time and you can get through it. You deserve care, support, and someone who listens without judgment. You don't have to carry this all alone. I know it's hard to reach out, but if someone reaches in even halfway, please grab that support. Count this as someone reaching in. Christmas and New Year are painted as such happy times, but behind some doors, the nights are just heavy with thoughts and scrolling just repeatedly in the dark. And if you notice the signs, if that knot forms in your chest, please stay present, stay curious, and stay kind. Your attention, your voice, and your love might be the thing that helps someone's day. I don't regret what I did with my daughter. I regret what I didn't do. I regret that I hadn't tried calling her that day yet. If you are worried, please, I'll post some links in the description. Papyrus and Ollie's Foundation, Samaritans. And if you've lost someone to suicide, this increases your risk of dying by suicide. There's a great organisation called Suicide & Co. You can contact them. They've got some great resources as well. Please, just know the quieter times are the harder times. It's easier keeping busy, trust me. I hope I haven't put fear into you, but I just want you to check in with your young people, particularly in the run up now to New Year and after. They're particularly vulnerable. Thank you for watching, and please do subscribe. And if you have any advice that you would like to give people or any questions, pop them in the comments. Thank you.